All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 3. Big shout out to thank you, Chairs for Gaming and CM Storm for sponsoring this event. Of course, the subscribers as well. But spawning here in the top right corner of the map, it's going to be the blue Zerg player from Flipside Tactics, JonSnow.
Bottom left, from Complexity, it's the red Terran, Tyga.
Didn't realize you had the War Pig decal. Sorry, how do you say it in America? Is it decal, right?
Yeah, now I'm confused.
I say decal. Sorry. Anyways, it looks cool. Is my bottom line lying point here.
It's your bottom line point.
Underlying point. Gosh, you Americans. Actually, it's
Usually
funny.
Americans confuse me.
I don't know if you were watching the Muslim stream earlier today, but he was going on this big pronunciation kick for a while, talking about like aluminium and oregano.
Oh, that is the
oregano.
dumbest. Okay, like how do you say it?
Aluminium.
Aluminum, and vitamins is vitamins. Those are the two dumb. Like I can't get over that.
No, you have to go find his VOD just so you can hear him say oregano. I can't even try to replicate.
Oregano? How else would you? Oh,
It's said like with this almost art style to it. Oregano. I don't know. It was really weird.
Like origami.
It was really weird.
Interesting.
Anyways, getting back on point for this game, Tyga showed us some scrappy matches, both wins and losses throughout today. JonSnow, whether it's through Roach Hydra, whether it's through a Baneling Bust, I mean, again, like everything he does is kind of as you would expect a typical Zerg player to do, and that's not a bad thing at all. In fact, sometimes playing crazy can cost you games more than get you wins, but I do wonder if Overgrowth being the most standard map of the pool, does anyone actually go crazy this time? You know, do we see that ridiculous Hellion pull with all the SCVs? Do we see a Baneling Bust or a Roach all in? I mean, what are your I guess assessments? You know, the way the best of 3's gone, what do you feel like we're gonna see?
I really wish we'd see the SCV pull again.
I know, me too. Like, my fingers are crossed. Like, but I know it's unlikely. It's like a once in a while build.
It's like a friend of the cool party trick that he's all like, you know, oh, it's only like once in a while. It gets old really fast, and you're like, no.
Yeah,
trust me, it's really cool.
It's a magic trick. You can't show everybody the same trick all the time, otherwise it loses the effect. But you're like, pick a card, any card, psych, it's Hellbats.
It describes ZVT kind of well. You know, again, 6 lings. Although, I mean, it's not really like a terrible investment to get 6 lings, but like 2 lings would be the absolute, like, and you're not taking any damage still with only 2 lings is the best case scenario. Usually, I mean, 2 lings would be able to buy time for the queens, but if, for instance, he did get up to 3 Reapers, he's going up to 2, it would be difficult to, well, not lose a queen anyways. Taking some shots on the lings, a little surprise.
Yeah, I mean, they're the buffer for the queens, right? To make sure that the 2 or 3 Reapers can't keep tagging them, but without 3 Reapers, I guess it's not so bad that he's lost the initial ling here or 2.
Yeah. He did send 2 of those lings across the map, a good move. But the second Reaper does mean that we don't really see the second Reaper to begin with anymore, but when we do, it is usually kept at home patrolling for that very specific move.
Not surprised to see Hellions coming out, kind of a staple move at this point, but the 3rd CC does strike me a bit odd. This is like the one road we haven't traveled down today.
Yeah, a very quick 3rd CC. If JonSnow can figure that that's actually down and it's too bad his Overlord is in position, he stopped it on the left side near the gold. An interesting place to put it.
I mean, it would see something running by, but yeah, without that able to poke in, there's no clear, hey, Roach Baneling, just go for it. Almost auto win. Either
that or just like slamming out a bunch of drones, you know? He will have to play kind of that like, I'm not sure what's going on. So like a Baneling nest when, I mean, if you know 30C is down, you could really hold off on the Baneling nest until like the layers is halfway done. Something pretty greedy like that, but now he won't have that luxury.
Wow. Before this gets too far into it, we just got 2 badass subs. It's Dismay just resubbed 10 months running, and Abominable Fro 7 months not too long after that. Damn, guys, thank you for that continued support. It's so nice to see those bigger numbers.
Hellions do go out on the map, so the lings run into the natural. Not so many lings. This is like, oh my god. In fact, only 3? There's a weird pill off of the 1.
Well, I guess the SCV. Hellions should be able to hold this.
Yeah. They could have gotten a scout That would have been nice, again, seeing that third CC.
Actually, did he with that Ling? No,
Nope.
no.
Yeah, so as you can see, like, the Baneling Nest comes down at a pretty safe time, like 7:30, or actually it was like 7 minutes, something like that, so that wasn't absolutely necessary. You're not going to use Banelings as regular old Hellions. Oh well. Doesn't also know about these Banshees that are on the way. Like, he is really in the dark, and the Banshee's going to be a really big surprise, because even then, I think they hit...
Yo, he's yeah. The Banshees are scared, but he's actually seen no gases this game. As crazy as that is, he has no idea what it possibly could have been. Like, there's no guesswork here. Like, oh, maybe it's Banshees, maybe it's Hellbats, maybe it's a medevac. Like, there's no idea. The third CC gets away with it. I got to tell you, as far as openings go, this definitely looks great for Tyga. But so did Game 1.
True that. The Banshees are a big surprise. Well, I mean, this is a sport crawler, so maybe not. But at this point, you know, especially with the Banshees being after the third command center, they are late. And I think he's got to like be feeling that, and he doesn't know the timings, you know, specifically. Just kind of like they're feeling late. So in that situation, does he think that maybe it's going to be Mech? It's not. Stim is on the way. Barracks are on the way, but we don't usually see an investment into this.
Interesting choice to chip away at the spawning pool. I mean, this is cool. He had the one Paranoia Spore down. He threw down the other ones as soon as he realized it was a Banshee, but oh, these Hellions. What damage can they do? He pulls some of the drones into this, so he minimizes the damage, and looks like this will actually not get much done. This really sucks, actually.
Kind of a weird-looking hold.
Bit of hold nonetheless, yeah?
Yeah, it's true. But JonSnow, you know, he's on even workers right now, which probably isn't the best thing, and he's still not really controlling the map. Tyga is not going to be able to get this third down like easy peasy. Lings are on the way to at least get it once. But otherwise, he's probably feeling pretty in control of this game. Pretty good about it.
The diligence to kill a spawning pool is so weird. I mean, it's not a bad choice. If he kills us, it kills the Lings, and the Lings are the only thing that his opponent's producing right now, but I just... strange. I don't know how to describe it other than this. He's trying to find a spot away from the Spore Crawler. However, the vision the Spore Crawler gives far outranges the actual attack ranges we saw, so the spawning pool will live.
Yeah. Well, the upgrades won't be as quick as maybe they usually are if you didn't go for those Banshees for Tyga. 1-1 will be quite a little bit ahead for the Zerg player. Again, that drone count not exactly perfect as 10 more do come out, still only at 62.
Yeah, I feel like those upgrades are, they're only really going to be a huge factor depending on whether it's more Baneling or Zergling heavy. If you got so many Banelings, I mean, the upgrades really don't matter that much per se. There's still, it's explosive damage one way or the other, but I do worry about Tyga not having this third down more than anything else. I mean, he moved it over, he lifted it because it was scared, I get that and all, but I mean, at least landed so he can drop mules. It's just actually wasting a lot of energy right now by sitting.
Yeah, unless he was thinking that like a big... basically an attack was coming, then there was no reason. So maybe seeing not a fourth. I mean, he doesn't really have all that much vision either, except in that main where the Banshee was. Like, he doesn't know if a third or a fourth was trying to be put down. The fourth is put down from JonSnow in a very interesting location.
Yeah, we don't conventionally see Zerg players do this CVT. Versus Protoss, actually, this isn't so crazy, but versus Terran, it's almost always top left. And then we get those baits into the hallways of death. Like, we've seen the game play out 10 times over. We know how it's going to go, but with the base being taken over here, there's a chance he gets to play around a little bit better because of the watchtower. But I think this is almost more scary to do because the medevac potential to just keep going from here to here, bouncing back and forth, mainly the natural. It's not like Star Station, but it's still a lot better than going from here to, say, here.
Yeah, exactly. It's also expanding away from your opponent. Like, the top...
Really?
The top left base is not exactly, like, you know, that much farther away from your opponent, but it is, like, it's more of a trip to go across the map in that wide open area than it is behind those ledges at the gold base and into the hallway of death, so...
So I want to go off on how cool that would have been to time out an attack around the spawning pool finally dying, but JonSnow knew. Yo, people say JonSnow knows nothing, but JonSnow knew, and he put another one down to make sure that that would not be the case.
Did you see the what was supposed to happen in Game of Thrones, by the way?
Can we not do spoilers?
No, it's not a spoiler.
I don't even know what does happen versus what's supposed to happen here. Like,
this was like there's like the original plot that's like nothing to do with the one that we have now.
Oh,
there's supposed to be like a love triangle between Jon Snow, Arya, and Tyrion.
Well, okay, well that's
yeah,
that's definitely, I understand why that didn't make it to TV.
I don't know, anyways. interesting tidbit from today. So, anyways, back on this this game, right? Like, nothing's really happened. We do have like a pretty stereotypical base or game, except for that fourth base.
Yeah, it's weird. I also find the supply depot wall a bit weird. I mean, it's cool
sick.
for sure, but I also feel like this is a lot of vulnerability.
They're both getting rid of the attack path that you would normally use in a TVZ. It's kind of funny. Like,
yeah, no attack path over here on the left side, and no Zergling run bys on the left either.
Yeah, so like, well, that would definitely help against most attacks. Now it probably won't be a point of contention. It's very interesting. I mean, when Overgrowth first came out, I remember there was, you know, I talked about it, like my teammates, like pro gamers were kind of like taking either one, but like, where do you take your third as any race? And it kind of solidified itself to the top left, and you know, for Zerg and the one that Tyga took here.
Well, yeah, Terran shifted over time. This was definitely not the initial base we always saw Terran players take, but well, attacking on the right side of the map. He does have some Widow Mines. We'll see if those get down. There are a lot of Zerglings coming in, though. These guys have to spread like nuts for the Banelings. He's fighting on creep, too, which is always a scary thing to do. Marauders left on the front lines to soak some of the hits, but the Banelings are all removed from the fight. Actually, not all. Here comes round 2.
No, picks up with the medevacs.
But not much. He doesn't get much.
Tail, if they can get... Okay, well, that one died.
Wow, that's what you call like hacks, man. Like you pick up the one, well, they're all gonna die anyways. But you get the one with all the Marines in it, like that's a good feeling. That kills the supply count of Tyga. Doesn't just hurt him, but like that's the army gone. He's got a little bit left at home, and he's starting to get production back up. But man, his third base has not been kind to him. He doesn't have a huge bank. He doesn't have a lot of money. Like where's the OP mules we all hear about all the time?
Yeah, there was no, you know, dedicated creep clear up. So yeah, you said he was on creep for that the most of that fight. That's pretty bad. And you know, we talked about it, I remember like a couple of games where we always point out how odd it was that the creep on the left was never as good as the creep on the right because people would expand to this base. And now we finally have that happen where the creeps are being as boss as it is in the middle of Overgrowth has been actually affecting this game.
Are the depots gonna hurt more than help? No, okay, they will save the SC sort of. He's still running. He shoots them around to soak the hits to beat the Brave Warriors, but they all die ultimately. 74 drones over 42 SCVs. The army count's still actually starting to shift back in the favor of Tyga here, but I feel like with the extra bases and with this many drones in play for JonSnow, it should be very easy for him to replace his army losses. That's a good attack nonetheless, though. Basically annihilated a whole base with the workers.
Yeah. There's a creep spread, but there's just so much more to go. This is the path that you're allowed to get creep spread, and Tyga did allow it, so that is it's looking pretty bad. The game plan here isn't really. It's not good for Tyga.
This is almost an alive turret. Like this is a really weird turret placement. You can't repair it where it is. Well, at least you could with like 2 SCV.
Yeah.
Widow Mine's going off a couple units here and there. Really nothing too amazing. He does have a 4th base on location. Hopefully that becomes a planetary. There we go. Because defending this is going to be a stretch and a half. With so much of the depots on the left side of the map, he can't simply abandon this side like you normally would want to. And sadly, before the command center's done, here comes the Banelings. Here comes the Zerglings.
Yeah. I think at that type of scenario, you're just kind of hoping that the Zerg won't check this base.
Well, he didn't mind wasting 20 Banelings out of the command center. It did kill it after all.
That's the army gone, maybe? Decided to take that fight, yeah, probably for the best.
Yo, with so many Banelings gone, it might not be so easy unless... Oh, don't stack up. He's got to split his ass off if he wants to stay alive. The Marauders aren't soaking the hits like they normally would, but this is all off of creep, so a little bit of advantage goes to Tyga if he wanted to chase. Not going to chase. Sits back at home instead.
Pops onto the 4th command center. It seems like his plan right now is just to hopefully get up to a 4th base and get back up to max and take a better fight. Because, you know, parade pushing, not going to work. You know, being kind of scary on the edge of creep is also not going to work because your army just plain isn't scary. It's supply low. Well, actually, his army is kind of scary, but the situation, I guess, isn't that scary for JonSnow. Even if you lost one base, there's another one that you can go back to.
Well, I'd say a big problem for Tyga too is like he doesn't have the money to start 3-3, which I think would be like his biggest benefit trying to get back to a position of power, right? Somehow keeps his turret alive through that mess, by the way. Wowzer. No building armor needed. Nope. Chop on the top left, chases off the drone, so it doesn't really kill any.
Yeah, we'll get in this base. I mean, if he got like this base and then had a push onto the 4th, that'd be a pretty good move. But with this creep spread, like you can just never dive as a Terran player. Like a Protoss player, you catch out of position, you go and dive towards their 3rd, no problem. A Zerg player that's out of position, you got to be damn sure they're really out of position before you go on to creep.
So the one thing I look at for this is, unless there's more Widow Mines, and there's a lot already, but like he needs even more to deal with what is like 40 plus Banelings.
Yeah. Well, I mean and they all have to hit the freaking Banelings, not all the Lings in front of them.
Right, but that's why I'm saying you need more. Like, there's a better chance you get a not worthless hit, I guess. I don't know, but SCVs are pulled off this again. Widow Mine shots, plus that bunker should be able to keep them alive, but the Banelings on the right side are what we're looking at. Widow Mine's not quite all down, and the Mutalisks are running rampant, but here comes the Banelings, just pulling back. Can these Widow Mines save the day? Not quite.
No, sir.
Oh, this is painful. But, you know, most of the Banelings are gone, and 28 Marines can deal with 22 Mutalisks, I think. Especially with some bunker coverage, if it consolidates up. It does keep mining at the 3rd, actually. I mean, he didn't lose that many SCVs, considering how many he had already lost prior to this.
Well, thank God I stayed at my 35 SCVs.
Yeah, I know, it's still a crap count. I'm not saying it's not, but it could be much, much worse.
You know? He has that 4th base back up, but he lost the one thing that was actually looking kind of good, which was the army supply that was even. Now it's still trying to get back up there. But...
Oh, fresh mules.
Oh, fresh base. Not nearly enough money to go and just plop down a bunch of missile turrets.
And the production, there's no bunker this time. What was it gone? And sadly, so will Tyga be gone as he gets knocked out of the tournament by JonSnow. JonSnow will take the series 2-1 and